Peace, peace. Hoodmystic.com proudly presents Keeping It Conscious, Episode 6. Pomba Gira and the Divine Feminine, Divine Whore, however you want to call it, Babylon or whatever. We're going to get to the real consciousness of it all and really understand this thing from a deep, deep level. So, I'm going to bring a new word into the consciousness community that I don't feel like is discussed enough. Liminal. Liminal. Pomba Gira is a liminal spirit, a liminal deity, which represents a particular point in time, a particular, like the twilight zone, like 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., where you don't really know if it's 12. What is it? It's the actual point where you're not really sure if it's the point between morning and afternoon, night and day. It's not really the day, but it's a new day, but it's still part of the same night. So it's really a transition. Pomba Gira represents the transitions. So when they say that she's a crossroad deity, that means she's representing the thresholds, the point where 2 points meet. And how you view Pomba Gira, she will live up to that representation. So I invite everybody to do their own research on her. In the slide, I got some books on there that are available on the subject of her, some in-depth stuff, especially the history of it all and where it came from, and giving you kind of a perspective of the particular energy. And so what I'm gonna do is give you like a history and then try to bring it current and have it like more of like a current event, so make more of a connection of it to where when people say, that doesn't make sense. Well, there's many definitions and many different ways that you can see this particular deity. Pomba Gira is a force, a representation of a particular energy in our world that, we tend to look down on, forget about, and act like it doesn't exist. Pomba Gira is seen as a prostitute, so as a personification of a powerful spirit, being a prostitute, you can kind of see what I'm getting at when I say that people kind of point fingers and look down on her. And this is mainly because this is a spirit that delivers and really disrupts the status quo. So when dealing with Pomba Gira and dealing with the energy, she's going to deliver. So that's why it's not much information on this particular deity. In general, she's seen as dangerous, and really just the lowest on the female social order. And so a lot of her devotees are individuals on the lowest social order. When you think, like I live in Ohio, and you think about the Cleveland Strangler, he killed 9 victims in East Cleveland, mainly prostitutes, and he got away with it, basically until one of the girls got away. But for the most part, he would have never got caught by police because he was killing prostitutes. So nobody cared that they died. Now, if you go missing, your mama gonna go to the police, your family gonna go to the police, and this, that, and the third. People gonna look for you. People gonna be concerned, and it may not be as much as Becky if she go missing, but for the most part, if you do go missing, hopefully you got people that will look for you. Prostitutes, on the other hand, are downtrodden, the people that would have sex for money and things of that nature. If they do go missing, nobody cares. If they do get murdered, it's not to be investigated. because the society mindset when it comes to women like this, to all like you feminists who search for equality, for all the women that exist who experience these things, the social mindset regarding it is, well, she's a prostitute, she must have deserved it. That's the mindset that our cops have towards these women. So we need a lot of progression in that area to even recognize, women like that. But even that serves a purpose for the women who don't have to live that light, because you know what? It's not that they're just putting it out there and creating the market. It's because the men, this masculine energy that's running dominant over this country and the planet, it would even think to exploit these women and these young girls and even young boys and send them all over the country. And the people that you vote for are the people that engage with these young people in sexual ways. Imagine that. So when you don't recognize the millions of people that are caught up in human trafficking, they all have a story. And you cannot point fingers or even judge, because at a certain point, them creating that service is really preventing a lot of rapes and a lot of, disruptive behavior. And a lot of y'all niggas see prostitutes on the reg. So, I mean, it ain't really no thing. I mean, it's a part of society, but at the certain point, it's really disgusting that, little children would be put on, a bed for a majority of her day and be used by politicians. Look up the Franklin sex ring. These things happen, and it's just like the energy of Pomba Gira is bringing light to these injustices and inequalities, and you're gonna see a lot of these women rise up and be able to wield some of that power over these men, because at a certain level, what a woman probably don't know is that how much power she have over a man. Pomba Gira, in one of her avatars or her mythology, Maria Padilha, is to be attributed to walk around with 6,000 evil spirits. And when you say evil, that just depends on your perspective. Is evil to somebody oppressing you and you trying to fight back, and you got this energy that won't let you be oppressed, really. And I think that's what it's about too. It won't let you be oppressed. Pomba Gira won't let you be depressed. She won't let you stay depressed. Maybe from a depressed state is where you find her, but once you realize what you come from, you realize that depression is necessary, maybe to reach her, maybe to contact her, because it's in the depths, it's in the darkness, to where you reach her and where you kind of, do your rites of passage. These is all representations of a liminal spirit, a spirit that's going to meet you at the crossroads to usher you into your new world. Pomba Gira is not just one woman. Pomba Gira is a source, energy source that is, it's a whole army of women soldiers representing Pomba Gira in this time, because if you look online and you might just Google, sex or pornography and things of that nature, like, these women are, devotees of Pomba Gira, and a lot of it is the real shit of it all. Is like a lot of people is getting through them lonely ass nights based on, pornography. Keep it all the way 100. Pornography would be a reason why a nigga go to sleep and not, rape a woman. I mean, I don't know. I believe that. You can argue with me to say different, but or vice versa. But all of this stuff needs to end. But we need to understand that we are under the woman and her energy. The man termed Pomba Gira's energy as 6,000 evil spirits because he wanted to demonize her energy. Masculine energy, run wild, wants to demonize feminine energy. So when you start to deal with your energy and understand your energy, guess what the masculine society calls you? A whore. But it might not have nothing even to do with whores. A person may see you and call you a whore, but you ain't fuck nobody. You just walking down the street eating cotton candy, thinking about unicorns and butterflies. Like, you didn't fuck nobody, but a person to see you and your sexuality, and you might not even be dressing no type of way sexual. You just got on clothes. You feel me? And a person might sexualize you based upon your sexual energy, just kind of representing, trying to demonize your power over him. I think anger towards women is a representation of a powerlessness towards your beauty. Your beauty, a woman's beauty on earth is unmatched to anything. A woman's beauty is the utmost thing that a person could aspire to, women and men. So, and beauty on the inside, and really the transformation, and really self-love to say I am beautiful, or to really have positive affirmations about yourself, and really have confidence about how you walk and how you talk and how you deal with men, and really dominate them, not in a sinister way, because just in a natural way, because you carry so much energy. You can create a child within your womb and push them out and raise them and nurture them without anybody's. You can sustain a child for who knows how long you could breastfeed a child. I don't never know if that ever been tested, but ultimately you can raise a child with no outside influence. That's representative of power, and feminine, mother like energy. So Pomba Gira is all about that action. So you know in life is nuances and multi levels of things. So to you, prostitute, in your mind might just be completely evil. But the prostitute who has to deal with it and process it might just like a prisoner. In your mind, you just think, no, I can't fuck that. But the prisoner in solitary confinement might actually have peace of mind and silence and reflection at a level that you couldn't even fathom, because you always dealing with people, especially if you have children. You constantly face with individuals. You have no sense of self. Getting more back to the point that Pomba Gira is here to reveal all the answers in different aspects of your life, no matter where you coming from. So we all have a particular dark side or prison that we need to address, and wherever we come from, it's okay, because if we're dealing with magic and rituals and things of that nature, we want to represent a state of before and after. And the state in between the or, so before and after, the and, or that middle point in between before and after, is when Pomba Gira is there for you to work with her. And it's real powerful, because it might be at a real sad spot, it might be at a real vulnerable spot, it might be at a spot where you had to post an ad at a particular website to make some money or do something strange for a piece of change. You won't be the first woman, nor you will be the last. You won't be the first man, nor the last man to do some shit like that. This is not, and even Pomba Gira is liminal. That means she's not a woman nor a man. That's why in many different folklores she represents the transgender community, and not as a representation of something homosexual, but as a representation of a liminal being where it's just a point in time that has no identification. So a lot of us are in that point. A lot of us are in that point representing Jupiter going into Scorpio, and Scorpio representing that transformation. And that transformation would be that point of which is not a forever thing. You don't have to deal with Pomba Gira forever, but it's the actual point. So how did I get to talking about Pomba Gira is, it's somebody that I'm experienced with, but I realize she comes and goes. It's not something forever. It's just, it represents a transition. So anytime she ever did show up, she represents a point in time where I've crossed over or something transitioned. So, today, my girl calls me and she tells me her feelings and how she feels and the energy that she feels present. And so I'm like, yep, you know what I'm saying? Based upon the things that we're doing and growing spiritually, like I can automatically connect to her input based upon, just conversation and repetition and just being that open channel of communication and, just sharing everything. So more or less to just do research, and then just so happened I listened to a radio program, the Dan Lebatard show, and on the website hoodmystic.com, if you read the article, you will hear the interview of this young lady. Powerful interview if you listening to it from this perspective that I'm giving of the Pomba Gira energy. If you're not listening to it from this context, it's a little weird, because it's just this random black girl from the hood, like, it sounds like your cousin Shaniqua, like on your favorite sports show. Is is random, but she's a quote unquote entertainer, quote unquote, prostitute. Well, basically, flat out, the offensive line coach snort cocaine off the girl body, basically, and he pay her for that. And he send pictures to her, send videos to her of him doing cocaine. But she felt a certain type of way about the guy, I guess, and she wanted to let people know. She felt possessed, but he was possessed even to the point where he was doing all of this wild shit, where she felt like she wanted to expose him. He sent her pictures of him doing cocaine in his office, off his table. That's like me shooting somebody and sending a picture to my ex that I told. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just gave my ex a STD, and then I just sent her a video of me shooting somebody. And I got a job at, Burger King as a supervisor. She gonna go straight to Burger King, like, you know what I'm saying? Or the police, one, you know what I'm saying? She going, if you can't piss a girl off and then send her incriminating evidence, that don't make no sense. The only person that'll do that is somebody that's possessed, and you dealing with the particular energy of Pomba Gira. You can downplay, a prostitute all you want to, but at the end of the day, she got mind control over Debo. You know what I'm saying? A person gonna talk shit about a prostitute when he ain't in the presence of a prostitute. When he in front of a microphone, it's real easy to talk shit about a woman that you love. A woman that you fit, because a man love with his eyes. You know what I'm saying? A man love his car. So all of this intellectualizing that women do about relating to men, prostitutes probably got it down packed. And so they have mind control over Debo. So you'll talk when he there, but You know what I'm saying? When you there, you would shut up, but when you leave, you be talking again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is with men with women. Like men talk a good game about women outside of their influence or when it comes down to it. But at the end of the day, a woman with enough game and enough energy and enough power and enough intuition into a man's needs can have any man wrapped around their finger at any point if they willing to transform an old way of thinking, breaking down the persona of what your mama told you or what her grandma told her in 1950 when everybody had Ford jobs and everybody was chasing the American dream. You now have to adapt to a 2017 post-apocalyptic America where nothing is the same and it's the wild wild west and it's Grand Theft Auto 2017 out here. You just never know. You could just walk into a car and just hop in and drive nowadays because it's just so weird. But back to Pomba Gira, one of her avatars, because I said she's an energy and she projects herself into many different avatars. One of her avatars is Maria Padilha. She is the consort or mistress of the Castilian king Don Pedro in 1366 at the Iberian Peninsula. When they speak of Maria, they speak of her as knowing the magic of the Moors, being heavily endowed with witchcraft. She is the queen of the Bohemians. She is, that magic African woman that is suppressed in America that we don't talk about. We only talk about the angry black man. So in two spectrums on ESPN, you have two dichotomies of the black woman. You have the angry black woman, Jamel Hill, who got suspended for 2 weeks, and then you have the energy of Pomba Gira is represented as Kiwana Nije, how she came through today on Dan Le Batard. So it's very interesting. But back to Maria, she was a consort, and Don Pedro was known as a cruel ruler because he killed all types of people. He killed his wife Bianca, all in the name of his mistress Maria, and it was her. She is like the Kim Kardashian of 1337 Spain. And so, and Don Pedro is like Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? At once beloved and unpopular, and at certain points popular, and, and just different drama and people dying and things of that nature. But it's to be said that she had complete control over him. What the word is to be used is domination. So any domination rituals or any type of things where you at a job and your boss is being like overly oppressive to you, but for some reason you feel like you need to use that job, Pomba Gira is the spirit that you want to use, because the spirit that you want to invoke, because it's representing pure feminine energy, the energy to really manipulate this matrix however you see fit. There's so many different paradigms to sex work, because there's even financial domination where women present themselves online, and for men to simply talk to them, they have to fulfill a wish on that wish list. So you probably couldn't even talk to a woman without giving her like a Rolex watch, or you know what I'm saying. And the more that you talk to them, you just got to give them more money and more things. And only rich men talk to these women, and they just have so much money that they just want to just give it all away to these women. You know what I'm saying? That's just another level of understanding of, feminine energy and feminine power, that I'm not saying that women should do this, But I don't need to say that women should do it because women is already doing the shit, whether I okay it or not. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing it and going to keep doing it, whether I think it's cool or not. So I'm just saying that feminine energy is a real thing, and the limits that you have on yourself and the relationship that you have with your nigga is kind of your fault because you're not dealing with the proper energy of transformation and transforming from the persona of just regular old girl Tanisha from down the street to, you know, a pure phoenix, you know, just pure fire, pure seduction, or it ain't even in a sexual way. It's in just a way that, you know, you are powerful. Like, you are powerful. Why deny who you are? You know, this just reminds me of a story when somebody was trying to describe feminine energy, and he said, you know, at a particular time before white people came to America, horses was wild, and they just ran throughout the land, and I don't even know the particular ins and out of the story, but basically how horses aren't wild no more based upon how they've been treated for so long. Where a horse is just so, you never wonder how a horse is just so powerful where it could just break away or just like say fuck this, like you just a little ass person on top of them. They could just like easily throw your ass off, like, you know what I'm saying, with a thought. It's like, but all that power is just completely submissive to your will and to your ability to just really just steer it and stay heed and stop it and do whatever the hell you want to do to the damn horse. You know what I'm saying? And it has more than enough power to just overpower you, but that's just through years and years and years of taming and suppression. And that's exactly what happened to women. And women has this particular idea of weakness, and Pomba Gira is here to wipe all that shit away. Pomba Gira is a real energy. It's some real shit. The reason why she's so popular is because she really works and she really comes through. When you have a pure heart and you have a full understanding, a full breadth of the knowledge, she not just going to come through because you just want her to come through. Pomba Gira cannot be bought. She can only be understood and understood and felt. When you feel her, you going to feel her and you going to understand. Some of the things that you could do, roses, liquor, is offerings, chocolate, raspberries, pomegranates, cherries. Her number is 7. She represents however you want her to look. Many different artists have many different representations of her particular personification. I think Pomba Gira looks like you if you're a woman, and Pomba Gira looks like the woman that you want her to be if you're a man. You know what I'm saying? Pomba Gira looks like however you can imagine a sexy woman for you to be. I swear, I was thinking this earlier. You throw some red pantyhose on Precious, she might can get it. Like, she might can go. Them red pantyhose be doing something to me, man. I ain't gonna lie. Anyways, Pomba Gira is a real experience. You know, you can get some red pantyhose and change a nigga's life. You just never know. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in your sexual energy. Believe in your ability to manifest a woman that satisfies your needs if you're a man. But if you single, or if you in a point where you want to experience love, that point where you single is a liminal experience and is a reason for you to deal with Pomba Gira. If you poor, that's a liminal existence. It's the point. Being poor is just a liminal existence. It's not something that you want to just be forever. You know what I'm saying? If you want to transition to be rich, then you have to understand that your persona, or however you view your life as, in a negative way, is just a liminal experience. It's just temporary. It's just a twilight. It's 12 a.m., but 12:01 is no longer 11:59. It's a completely new day. That's what represents the crossroads. If you ever wanted to understand what the crossroads is, not the devil or anything like that. It's just the thresholds of life, the points of life where you make that change, you make that burst on the scene. And to a person who don't understand spirituality or magic, he gonna call you a devil worshiper because he gotta work every day and night. He gotta go through this monotonous everyday routine of just doing the same shit. That's the persona, that's the before that we want to get away from. And that point where we transition into something completely different is Pomba Gira, is that actual, that point in between the breaths, between the inhale and exhale, that imaginary point, if you could fathom that. So I wrote about Pomba Gira, but it's a lot more to say about Pomba Gira because she has 7 different paths and 7 different ways that she can manifest, and all of this different information about Pomba Gira, whereas it only matters about how it benefits you. I know how it benefits me. I know how I'm rocking with the energy. I just wanted to point out how I wanted to really point out that interview because I just thought it was just so amazing. And this girl looked exactly like this picture that I've always posted of Pomba Gira. I always had this picture like always printed out or always hanging up somewhere. Like I love this picture of Pomba Gira with the cigarette. Like, and then once I seen this picture of this shorty, like she said, like, you know what I'm saying? She is a beautiful woman. Like, whether she a prostitute or not, like she is just like gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't even view her as that. I just viewed her as a beautiful woman. And we need to stop labeling our women. We need to, if a woman is beautiful, then she's just a beautiful woman. It don't matter for you to define her. You don't know her story, and so you don't know nobody's story. Or if you see them in a downtrodden position, if you see them in a downtrodden position, it's liminal. And I don't, and it represents the individual, it represents a moment in time, and it represents a whole lifetime. Your whole lifetime is a liminal existence. This is just a point in time that you gonna look back on like absolutely nothing. Your whole life is going to be absolutely nothing at a particular point in time. So imagine this little drama or however you feeling about your persona that's not even real, and that's a liminal existence. So when we talking about transformations, if you serious about transformation, then you really need to understand a liminal existence, and you really need to understand that it's a lot of shit that you need to let go more than you need to hold on to. But yeah, man. And prostitutes is good because if your boyfriend came home today and said you want to snort coke off your ass, you would be looking at him a little different. So, especially if he never just came, he just Ron that work at the factory. Then all of a sudden he come home Friday night talking some wild shit. Can you shit on my chest, babe? I'm really into that. Like, I really like when you shit on my chest. Like, not you, anybody. I just like that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't handle that. So, you know, a prostitute might be good for that, especially if you don't know about it or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, expand your views of sexuality if you plan to deal with Pomba Gira, because she's going to tell you the whole truth. So help me God. Like, you know what I'm saying? And can you handle it? You know what I'm saying? And can you be able to express your truth sexually? And for some people, they not ready for that. So I wouldn't deal with Pomba Gira if you're not ready for the real. And I wouldn't deal with Pomba Gira if you ain't ready to be happy. I wouldn't deal with Pomba Gira if you ain't tired of all the bullshit. I wouldn't deal with Pomba Gira if you wasn't really ready for change in all parameters. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of niggas, y'all real comfortable and happy doing shit. So I wouldn't. That's why Pomba Gira is scary, because it might shake up your paradigm a little bit. It might shift some energy. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a real spirit and it's really going, have an effect on your personal life. So, if you cool and everything is perf and kosher and comfy, then no need to deal with Pomba Gira. This is for the niggas that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. It is a spiritual resource and the solution for any trial and tribulation. Even if you're on Backpage right now, Pomba Gira can help you out of that situation, man. And I don't even think Backpage even exists anymore. But if it's that bad, you on a site that don't even exist, trying to make some money, you might want to deal with the energy because you don't want to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? And if you find yourself, being manipulated by a man or manipulated by a boss and being exploited for, survival purposes, you want to deal with Pomba Gira. I know that it's a lot of women and a lot of people that go through shit that they don't talk about. And that represents the shadow. And when you don't talk about that shit, when you feeling manipulated and used and took advantage of, that creates a shadow. And that creates depression and frustration. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to deal with somebody. And maybe you don't got access to a psychologist. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to change and you really want to shake the shit, you want to deal with the energy of Pomba Gira. And, don't do it in haste. Don't be in a rush about it. Do it with wisdom. Do your research and really just understand the energy for yourself. You gotta really shred through information. You can't just hug information and take it as the holy grail. You gotta kind of piece it all together for it to make sense for you. I feel like it's a big deal. I feel like this energy is present for us to really establish some equality. I feel like this is not an energy depending on where you at. It could be, but whatever it is, it's just a period of time for which that allows you to transform. So, happy trails to you, man. If you listen to this video and you enjoyed it and you got something from it, awesome. If you just listened to it and just felt like I was crazy, then you crazy for listening to me, because it pay you nothing. It don't cost nothing to listen to this. This is completely free. And you allowed to have your opinion, but you can talk to me about it too. Like, I like to check niggas and put nigga in their place intellectually, so I'm all for that. And but it's all a lot of love too. I just want the women to really, especially the women that feel depressed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be happy. I want you to be vivacious and just skin popping and froze out, you know what I'm saying, just loving yourself. Like, that's what I want. And however that looks, you know what I'm saying, for some girls it's like Daisy Dukes and halter tops, you know what I'm saying, at church, you know what I'm saying. That's how they commute, that's how they feel, you know what I'm saying. So I love that shit. So it's like, however it looked for you, man, that's how you want it to be. But keep the channels open. Feel free to comment. Feel free to send me a message if you had any experiences with Pomba Gira that you can add to the discussion, because it's all like, she comes through on a personal level, so you can't really rely on the shit that you read in books. We gotta talk to each other about this type of shit. We can't rely on the internet for everything, but you gotta have those builds and those conversations on those dreams and things of that nature to really expand on consciousness in a real level, and not just be scholars or copy and paste and just say a bunch of shit that you think is cool, or not really have no self-realization of, the power that rests within you. Because the power that rests within you is immeasurable. But if you don't know you have it and you don't access it, what's the use? You know what I'm saying? So that's why we continue to have these conversations. This ain't the first conversation, nor will this be the last. But for now, I'm signing out. Y'all have a good night and have a happy twilight. Peace.